Hey, it's August 25th, 2023. I'm doing this at night. I was on call for work today, so I had to wake up pretty early, 6 o'clock to start. But that's not so early, I guess, except we had we had some dogs with upset stomachs last night, so we were up in the middle of the night cleaning up after that. So not a ton of fun to do on not a lot of sleep. So I think everyone's doing pretty good now, which is good news. But yeah, was not able to get this recorded early in the day and had a busy on-call shift today, so I'll be on call tomorrow and the next day as well. So hopefully it's pretty quiet, but I have a feeling some of the stuff that I was dealing with has to be investigated over the weekend. So I'm I'm not looking forward to that, but that's part of the gig, so that's okay. Okay, where to start? So I think I'll start with meal coach stuff. So meal coach is a little slower this week. Um, I have I'm still cranking through some things, but um, I noticed that like some of the actions that I wanted to take for myself were about getting more recipes and stuff added into the system, and I kept kind of putting this off, and I couldn't really figure out why. And I was being honest with myself, and I spent, if you watch some of these videos, I spent a lot of time actually trying to get the US food data into our system, and it's great because it's there. But that data is honestly it's garbage. It's really hard to work with. So the most recent thing that I realized is that there's so out of the 1.9 million foods that we brought into the system, 1.8 million of them are branded foods. And those branded foods, a lot of them don't actually have names, which seems kind of silly, right? It's a branded food. Like, how does it not have a name? But it has a brand name, it'll have a description, and then like a UPC code to look up by the barcode, right? And that barcode is, I guess, what people are using to find names, but the uh, the actual data set itself does not have names for a lot of products. And the result of that was that I was using a description field as the name. So where I'm going with this is that when you go to make recipes in our system with all of this new data added, you'd search for something like a good example was celery. Sounds kind of funny, but there were like 7 duplicate celery entries. This is from the US data source. Like, I didn't mess it up. It's literally 7 entries for celery that are identical. So, okay, that's easy enough to clean up. I'll deduplicate things. So I did that first. And then the next pass, I would, keyword search for celery, and I'd get all of these things that were like, you know, 250 characters long of descriptions of just like almost like an ingredient list. And I started to realize that, like, I didn't mess that up. The import was using a description field because that for a lot of foods is a name. But that description field for a lot of these branded products in the US data source is truly just a description. There's no name. So the result was that you'd search for something simple like celery, and you'd be bombarded with all these other entries they're completely useless. So one example with this celery thing, there was something that was just like a relish or something, like a spread, a condiment, and like that's just like the way it was entered in, the description of it was so useless that you would never search for that in particular. And I started to realize that was a pattern. And I just went ahead and, from a keyword search perspective, disabled 1.8 million foods. And there's still like 25,000 foods in the system. So there's a lot. And I tried again. I tried to add recipes. And then I realized, like, okay, it feels good again. I search for something like celery or, you know, um, chicken breast or whatever. Like chia seeds was another one that had like a ridiculous number of entries. And all of a sudden I can start to find the actual foods I'm interested in. So um, that was not a wasted effort getting all that data in, because if we want to go look up things by UPC code, we can. And I want to be able to go integrate with a UPC system, but um, the one that has programmatic access to cost $6,500. And I think if we had income and we were, kind of off the ground, that wouldn't be so bad. But that's a pretty big investment right now, and it's just it's not looking like it's worth to do at this moment. So unfortunately, that's where things stand. But I'm back in the groove of being able to add things, so that's nice. And then there were a couple cleanup things. So started to notice some pages had like incorrect units showing up, that kind of thing. So spent it was unfortunate. I spent more time cleaning some stuff up that should have been in good shape already, and that kind of set me back. But current status of things, I actually feel really good about now. So as much as it felt like wasted effort, it's good because it's in a good spot. So can't really complain about that. Just kind of feel like I'm a week behind on where I want it to be. So that's okay. I think that's it for Meal Coach though. I want to share, I guess, a couple of things. So I want to share a cool story from work this week. Actually, I shared it on Threads. It's probably the only platform I kind of put it on. I think I reshared it to my Instagram story. So if people were looking there, they might have seen it. But um, the the story that I want to share is I went in to work on Thursday, and I don't really go into the office much at all. I've only been in like less than 20 times in 3 years, um, closer to 10 times, right? And we had this on-site event that our CVP put on. So for context, that's my manager's manager. So it's like three skip levels for me as the CVP of our organization. And so we were attending her event for some learning sessions, some workshops, which were awesome. And I've never met her in person, and I had this cool experience where I was, walking down the hall to find one of the meeting rooms, and she was there, and she said, "Hey, Nick." Like she actually recognized me, which is really cool because not that I don't really have people necessarily like on a pedestal, so I don't really want to frame it that way, but what I thought was really cool about that was that for people that have started in workplaces kind of during the pandemic, right? If you've been working remotely with people, even if you're on video calls, you might have noticed that if you meet them for the first time, you kind of do this double take, like I think that might be you. I'm not totally sure it's you. Um, and it was interesting because we've never met in person before, but she recognized me. And we don't actually interact that much. Like I mentioned how far removed she is from my level. Um, and the only couple things that I thought of were like, I don't think I stand out that much in meetings or anything, so I don't think it's from that. But LinkedIn, I post a ton of stuff on LinkedIn, and I'm curious if she was able to recognize me from there. So that was kind of this cool interaction. I was like, hey, I didn't think that anyone would recognize me. So immediately after that, I walked into this meeting room, which was the first kind of stop before the workshop, and one of her direct reports, there's a few people in this room, but one of her direct reports went, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, it's him." And it was as I walked in, and he's like, I feel like I'm in the presence of a celebrity. So I was like, kind of like, this is kind of weird. Like, I don't know if he's making fun of me. And then he was kind of looking around the room. He's like, no, like he puts content out on LinkedIn. He makes YouTube videos. And I realized he wasn't mocking me or anything. He was actually like, speaking very positively of me. And he was joking around, obviously, with the celebrity thing, but I thought it was so cool to have someone be like, they recognize me for putting out content. And what I was saying on Threads was really like, I wanted to talk about imposter syndrome. This is a perfect example of it. I'm extremely introverted. For me to get on even on a camera, like I know I'm in my room right now, my wife's asleep, and I'm talking to this camera. I'm alone, but the thought that someone can watch this when I put content out, it's my face out there, it's my voice, it's my thoughts. Um, that makes me like totally uncomfortable. So, you start putting content out. So not only is it uncomfortable, but now you're in this position where, your people they're able to kind of judge what you're doing. They can poke holes in your theories and your thoughts. And, enough time goes by and you're like, man, like truly imposter syndrome. Like, am I cut out for this? And it starts to feel weird, right? But like I just keep doing it. I'm hoping kind of it'll keep making progress. And this was just such a good reminder that again, like this other guy, my CVP's direct report. I don't want to say names or anything, but um, I've never met him in person either. I've been on some calls with him, but he recognized me from my content. So it was just really cool. And the last part I want to share is that at the end of the day, I was walking out of the office and I had to go down the stairs and past two people that were talking. And I was kind of like, hey, I got to butt through or whatever. So one of the women said, "Hey, Nick," and I had just walked past and I turned back and I didn't recognize her immediately. So I kind of paused and I said, "Hey," and she said, "From LinkedIn." And she said, "I've watched some of your videos," and basically was saying that she's, appreciated like me sharing my insights and stuff. And again, it was just like this holy crap moment. Like people people watch what I'm putting out. It's just, I mean, it sounds funny to kind of say it out loud, but yeah, it was just this really cool experience where I felt appreciated, right? And I felt like this actually has value. So I like to think it does, but it was just kind of amazing to hear that in person. So I wanted to share that. It's kind of a vulnerable thing for me, so I thought that was really cool. Um, what I wanted to share something else too. So I've been thinking a lot about this recently. So it's just about the content creation, and um, I feel like I'm on a bit of a roll right now. I got my videos coming out, still trying to do 3 times a week. I don't think that's going to be sustainable for forever. I'll run out of steam. I'll be trying to up the quality. The content will be more complex. I want to focus on other areas of content creation, and I don't think I'll be able to keep up with three, but I want it as long as I can. And I've got the blog post cadence up. I actually put out, um, I have one coming out tomorrow as well. I put out 3 blog posts this week, Monday, Tuesday, and today, because it's still Friday. And I have one coming out tomorrow that's going to go out with my newsletter. That's four, right? That's 4 blog posts in a week. And I wanted to kind of acknowledge that because earlier this year I was trying to do one a week and then I fell off because it was like, man, it's so much effort. But I did 4 this week and 3 videos. And like that's realistically also not a sustainable level of content, but I was able to do it. And I just started kind of thinking about this more like I put a lot of time into this and I actually I pay literally pay money. I don't make anything right now. Um, I did get this like bulk supplements kind of I don't want to say necessarily it's a sponsorship. It's like an affiliate program. So they've sent me some products and I already buy their products anyway. So I have that going on, which is cool. But like I think my total costs for the year are like they're over $1,000 for me to put out content like this, and there's nothing coming in. And I've been trying to think of ways like to kind of recoup some of that. And I don't just want to, switch over to just like I'm selling you boot camps and stuff because I don't really buy into that. And I feel like that kind of takes advantage of people that are looking for shortcuts. But um, I do think that I'm going to share it here, but I'm actually going to take down Patreon because I feel like it was kind of set up in a way where I'm not able to monetize it like I would like to. Um, and this video that I'm recording right now is actually going to go up on the internet, not through Patreon. And what I'm going to start doing is paywalling some things. So like this, the point was that I would paywall these on Patreon. Um, but like I said, I didn't their system for monetizing I just didn't really like. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna paywall the archive to my newsletters as well, and I'm gonna start building up a member section on my website so that um, I'm gonna come up with different tiers for things and want to keep it totally fair price because I want to be able to have people that are willing to support and put a couple dollars forward. Like that's great. Um, and then I want to offer some other opportunities. Like when I have courses and stuff, I want to make sure that the supporters have early access. I want to make sure that I can offer things like, you pay once and you have like a lifetime kind of access to anything I put out. So that way, if you're doing it early, you'll get it at a discounted price and you have lifetime access to anything I put out. And then over time, that lifetime access price will keep going up. But if you're in early, you paid it once at the low price. So I'll do that, and then I'll have like, paid for courses as well if you just want to do a one-off. But I'm gonna start trying to put some attention into that. Um, and that way I feel like I can offer like have like a premium offering for people. And I'm not going to stop the free content at all. I think that's the bread and butter. I truly do this like I've been whatever it's like it's almost 9 months now that I've been doing this consistently, right? Like week over week, and it's all been free. It's all my time. It's all I'm literally like I said, paying money to have this done. So I want to keep that up because I believe in that. I believe in trying to support people that want to be on their programming journey. And then for the people that already are and they're software engineers, I want to be able to share with them like these are my experiences and I hope they can help you. Not because I think they're, like absolute truths or the best way to do things, but it's just different perspective and I think that can be valuable for people. So I want to keep the free stuff up, but I do want to consider a premium offering. So I'm going to start to build that out. And like I said, it's going to start with taking Patreon down and then having these videos accessible through a paywall because it's behind the scenes stuff. So that's my thought process. I'm gonna spend some time trying to implement that this weekend. I don't know what'll be ready. I also don't have courses yet, so that's some paywalled content that doesn't make sense to sell yet because it doesn't exist. But like newsletter archives, also the newsletter is pretty new, so there's not a lot of archive kind of material yet. But these videos I've been doing pretty consistently since the beginning of the year. Um, I think I got like 24 of them or something. There's been a couple that I've missed for different like when I went back to Canada to get married and stuff like that. So, um, yeah, I think it'll all have some different tiers of things, but like I said, want to have fair pricing. I don't want people to feel like I'm trying to rob them or anything. I want to be able to demonstrate like I just want to at least, for basic supporter things, if you're interested in sort of behind the scenes stuff like this, my life, some early access stuff, couple bucks a month kind of thing, I think would be awesome. And if there's enough people that do it, it really helps me just like not have costs, or bring my costs down, and then I can do things like have higher production quality. I can hire an editor or something. Like all this kind of stuff would just be quality of life for me, so I can focus on other stuff like me editing my own videos. I am a terrible video editor. I don't edit these behind the scenes ones because it's just another thing that takes a lot of time for me. Um, so, if I had some type of income from doing this, then I could hire an editor and save myself time. I could produce better shorts if I had someone doing them and I wasn't just trying to take all the clips I could of pre-made content. Like someone who's good at this stuff could do a much better job than me. So, um, that's my thought process. So I wanted to share that here first. It's kind of ironic. I don't know. There's like a chicken and the egg problem. I'm saying that here, but technically this would be paywalled, so you wouldn't know unless you paid for it and then you're watching this. So I don't know. But that's the thought process. Um, yeah, I think that's it. It's already like a almost 20-minute video. Lots of rambling, but I wanted to share all that because I thought it was interesting. So thank you, because if you are watching this, you have supported me. So thank you so much. I do appreciate it. And yeah, I'm feeling good. I feel like there's momentum, and I'm excited to keep doing this. So thanks, and we'll see you next time.